first thing Monday morning that you are capable. You are capable, you are worthy, you are so many good things, and it's a Monday morning, and I'm so thankful that you are spending some time here with me today. Those of you who have hung out at postpartum together, I just want to let you know that we have been talking a lot about the stay-at-home mom grind. At Postpartum Together, we have specialty groups for the transitions after baby. My specialty is relationships, sex, intimacy, all of that. And then I have a couple of teammates who really focus in and specialize in stay-at-home mom and return to work. And so this week and this month, we are really honing in and focusing on some of the unique challenges and gifts and joys and scenarios and circumstances of the stay-at-home mom life. I appreciate this topic. This was my full-time jam for a couple of years, and it's literally the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life, was being that consistent stay-at-home mom. But today we're going to be talking about 5 skills that you acquire as a stay-at-home mom. And this was really inspired by Hey Mama's movement that is hashtag motherhood on the resume, paired with the fact that recently, within the last couple of months, LinkedIn added stay-at-home parent as a job description, as a job on your LinkedIn digital resume. And so this has a lot of conversation going around, do we, if we are those people who take a break in our careers and we have that career gap, do we put that motherhood experience on the resume? Is this looked down on? Is this celebrated? How are we perceiving this as a society? Excuse me. And so I think it's important to say that there's been research done around this, and I want to give you guys a couple statistics. And then I want to go into these 5 skills that if you are a stay-at-home mom, I want you to be really damn proud of. I want you to really lean in and appreciate the skills you're developing, the skills you're showing, the way that you are growing, and the way that should you choose to go back into the workplace one day, this is really incredible and a huge asset, and it does not take away from who you are. So according to research that I'll be linking when I turn this into a blog post, there are 91% of people surveyed who said that they believe that moms bring a unique skill or bring unique skills to the workplace. I don't know who the other 9% are, but I don't think they've ever met a mom. And then 89% of these people agree that working moms in leadership roles bring out the best in employees. So we know that there are skills, there are insights, there are mental and emotional transitions that we go through in motherhood that are actually really great for careers and for the workplace. And so there is absolutely no shame in taking some time to have that gap and have that time where you are transitioning your skills and you are building your skills in this other area, should you choose or have the opportunity to be a stay-at-home mom for a while. And this is a really sweet time. It's a really hard time. Again, I said this is the hardest thing I've ever done when I was specifically a stay-at-home mom. But there are some really great areas that come out. So let's talk about those 5 skills that are marketable, that are growing you as a human, that grow you as an asset in the home and in the workplace if you choose to make that transition later down the line. And I also want to be mindful and say that there are still a lot of biases. So there's still a lot of conversation around, do we recognize, how do we acknowledge taking time to be the primary caregiver and be at home? There's still biases around that gap and whether or not it will be used against you. And this is really important to think about. There are a lot of good resources out there for you to be thinking about companies that have a really good mindset and culture around parents and around the skills that are built in this motherhood or even fatherhood paternal break. So the first skill that I want you to be really proud of, I want you to lean into, I want you to think about, and that we celebrate is really good from a stay-at-home parent, is time management. Okay, so from the early days of a newborn, where you're literally living your entire life in 2 to 3 hour increments, you're juggling, you're figuring out how to manage these little bits of time. This is a huge skill that probably pre-baby you didn't have to do as well, and therefore didn't translate to the workplace in the same way. So in the experience of motherhood, you are gaining this time management. You are evaluating your time. You are planning things out. You are able to manage different things. And this, goes from, again, those early days of juggling sleep and eat schedules, which is a whole thing in itself, to then, eventually juggling things like play dates and practices and appointments. So time management is one thing that women who have entered motherhood and taken maybe even a career break as a stay-at-home mom, are really entering the workplace again with super strong skill sets that a lot of other people don't get. A lot of other people aren't able to bring to the workplace. The second thing is negotiation. and this is a great skill to have at work for so many jobs. This is also a skill that we, whether we want to or not, get a lot of as moms, and in specifically the stay-at-home mom role. So the toddler years are absolutely great for developing your negotiation skills. But even early on, you're negotiating your roles and your responsibilities with your partner. You're negotiating the time, again, kind of in this time management, the time spent getting all the different needs met. You're negotiating sometimes with family and with friends. And so then you get the opportunity to negotiate with a 2-year-old who has really big feelings and doesn't quite understand why. And I'm going to tell you that if you spend this time really focusing in the motherhood world, you're going to, should you re-enter the workplace one day, be a stellar negotiator, which is actually great for so many jobs. So the first one was time management. The second skill that you acquire as a stay-at-home mom is negotiation. The third is prioritization and planning. So you have to figure out quickly which balls are glass and which balls are plastic. Which ones have to stay in the air and be prioritized and which ones can fall. Because the reality is that in the workplace, in the home, whichever it is, you can't do everything, okay? And so the prioritization that comes as a mom, and specifically in the stay-at-home mom role, allows you to really figure out this is what needs done, like 100% no room, for this to not be met. But then also there are these things that are like, it'd be great for this to be done, and these don't actually even need done. So you are able to plan around the highest priorities and have a higher level of discernment than you probably did prior to motherhood. So that is our third skill. The fourth skill that you acquire as a stay-at-home mom, and that is super great for the workplace should you return after taking this gap in your work, is the crisis management. Okay, workplaces are filled with crises, and they can either be quickly and mindfully addressed, or they can blow up and become a big deal for the whole workplace. So stay-at-home moms are able to really bring this ability of crisis management, of this is the problem, I'm going to stay calm, I'm going to figure out how to solve it, I'm going to work with my team. As a stay-at-home mom, you have crises all freaking day. Maybe they're the toilet, maybe they're spit up, maybe it's, the food over boiling on the oven because somebody had another emergency. It is ongoing crisis management. And so a lot of people appreciate how a mom, and those, again, I want you to really feel proud if you're taking this gap, and not to say that it's better than not taking the gap. There's no right or wrong way, but I know that sometimes as stay-at-home moms, we feel like we're really losing our skills and that we're not contributing in a lot of ways, and I want this to be a place where we're able to say, no, wait, actually, I'm gaining a lot of skills, and there's a lot of great development that's happening here. So that crisis management, to be quick on your feet, to be able to help and assemble other people and make sure that things are taken care of is a really great skill that you also bring. And then this fourth skill that you acquire and you grow and you develop as a mom and as a stay-at-home mom is creativity. And this is great for any next season of your life. So you know how to think outside of the box. You see situations and people, and you see that they are unique and there's not a one-size-fits-all approach. This is great if you enter a job where you have clients or you have different projects that you're managing. You're able to be creative and see how things need different kinds of approaches. And you're also able to make mundane tasks fun, which everyone needs in the workplace. So again, today we're looking at the skills that are developed as a mom, as a working mom, and how this translates into the time that you may be taking as a stay-at-home mom. I really struggled with this personally, to feel like I wasn't growing, I wasn't productive enough, I wasn't doing anything that was giving back to a team or the big picture enough when I was a stay-at-home mom for the first 2.5 years. And I really want for women who are in this season, again, whether by choice or by circumstance, I want you to feel proud and excited about the growth that you're having and about how this is really a sweet spot and a sweet moment for you to be acquiring skills and growing as a person and being with your kiddos. And this does not disqualify you from a career in the future, especially those of you who are career driven. You can get down on yourself sometimes, and I know that. So I want you to not discredit this season from what that means for your future growth, because you are going to be able to re-enter the workforce when it makes sense for you, with new developments and new skills and a lot to bring to the table. I encourage you guys to check out Hey Mama with their hashtag motherhood on the resume movement. And I personally use the Mom Project for myself or to help refer others to find workplaces that are really bringing in moms purposefully because of these skills, because of what motherhood brings in us and brings to the table. So the Mom Project is another great place to look. And there are lots of things out there that help us to know companies and organizations that are prioritizing things like flexible work schedules and the opportunity to telework or whatever that is, in order to accommodate the fact that our working moms are such an important part of the industry. So when you do re-enter, I encourage you to use those resources, and even say that now, if you know you want to re-enter the workforce at some time, it's a great time to be focusing on, okay, these are the skills that I'm developing and I'm really damn proud of, and these are the places that are going to really appreciate that and celebrate that once I decide to make a return.